Welcome to Drugs and Athletics. In this lecture we will be exploring one of the next steps in performance enhancement called gene doping. We will also look at the multi-billion-dollar supplement and ergogenic aid industry and the claims that they make. Gene doping, as mentioned in our text Drugs in Sport by Mottram and Chester, is altering an athlete's DNA. It increases amino acids in anaerobic athletes and increases mitochondrial activity in aerobic athletes. The effects can be unknown, and some do consider it safer than human growth hormone. It is illegal and banned and could create a super athlete, so to speak. It's difficult to detect, and with our latest technology and scientific discoveries in areas such as CRISPR and other genetic mapping that we have been able to help crack the code on, this will become a more important issue in drugs and athletics. Gene manipulation is the non-therapeutic use of cells, genes, and genetic elements, or the modulation of gene expression that have the capacity to improve athletic performance. For instance, when stimulating growth hormones, the problem is that it can also be very possible that early cancer cells that may not yet be detected could have growth and dramatic acceleration, which is obviously detrimental to the health of any person. Here are some gene doping examples. One's a little more hilarious on the left. I'm not sure what happened here, but on the right we have the Belgian blue bull, which is an example of myostatin inhibiting drugs that can alter an animal's genes. And we can take a look at this in this next video segment.
The cowshed, the man in charge of the beef herd is Patrice Lobe.
He's a big fellow. Am I all right?
He's quite big, huh? He's 160 meter tall, yeah.
If I saw a man like that,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't get this close to him, I don't think. I would think he was on steroids or something. I think he
No.
was a bodybuilder.
It is 100% natural, whereby, let's say, within so many generations, all breeders have taken the best of the best, or the more muscle of the more muscle. We moved from a normal classical type of animal, and then we select that sort of animal based on the double muscle.
And when you say double muscles,
Yeah.
do you mean it has two of every muscle?
No.
Because it looks like it does.
Absolutely.
It
It has exactly the same type of muscle than any other breed, except that in terms of quantity, each of these muscles is by far more developed.
Right. This cow is technically known as a Belgian blue, and it's the product of selective breeding.
Selective breeding is the first stop on our tour of how man is using science to control nature. It's used by farmers to enhance desirable characteristics in their animals. In fact, selective breeding is all about managing sex. To create these Belgian blues, over 100 years, farmers have only allowed the cows and bulls with the greatest muscle mass to mate. And the result is a bull that weighs over a ton. The animal's breeders are keen to show off the results of their hard work. The bulls are shaved to best display their muscles.
What they try to do is to clip the animals in order to highlight all the muscle. You see?
Well, so you can see where all the meat is.
Exactly.
But even here, where they've sort of trimmed in there.
Yeah, to highlight that muscle, which has got a high value. You see?
And these are all going to be lean cuts, and they're all for quick cooking, are they?
That's right. That's right.
Because when you look at this, you can't help thinking of lunch, you know? Is it healthy?
The animal, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, the animal is as healthy as another intensive producing animal.
So this is about the most technological that meat can get?
Not the most technological. In terms of technology, we talk about selection, natural selection, having achieved that.
So what is the science behind the Belgian blues? There is a gene that regulates the growth of muscles in cattle. These cows have been selectively bred from animals that contain a copy of this gene which doesn't work. As a result, their muscles grow far larger than normal. To ensure the defective gene is passed on, sex for the Belgian Blues has been replaced by technology in the form of artificial insemination.
He is basically a sperm machine.
It's a sperm machine, absolutely.
It's very early in the morning for...
I understand.
The semen is now collected, it's in the artificial vagina, and from there we will process the semen in order to be able to process artificial insemination on the cow.
So precise is the technology involved, they can analyse the semen sperm by sperm to choose the ones they want. So this is testing the sperm count.
That's a sperm analyzer. It's now checking, let's say, the quality of the sperm we have been collecting this morning. Green is good because you see that they are very, very mobile and they are looking forward to move towards the eggs.
And these are not especially muscly sperm.
Don't you find that they are very muscled?
Well, they look impressive to me, but I've never seen any other bull sperm. No.
Visually, you won't see any difference. There is no way to find any difference between the bovine, the equine, and the other species. No.
Right.
In terms of the athlete biological passport detecting gene doping, the endocrine panel can be used to measure the consequences of gene manipulation. May not be directly, but indirectly. There will be protein changes, metabolite changes, and there can be differences in genetic transcription that was previously measured. So if they see a specific change in what their baseline measurements were, they're going to know that there may be some type of gene manipulation involved. Now, in terms of supplements, our text does have an entire chapter on supplements, which can include muscle building supplements, energy enhancers, endurance increasers. Weight loss supplements have been popular for years. Weight gain supplements for those who were looking to bulk up. Workout recovery, pre-workout, and for those who want to get relief of their joint pain through joint health. For every type of supplement that you take, you do want to make sure that it's effective, or else you're wasting your money, that it's safe, or you're risking your health. Is it pure? Do you know what you're actually buying? And what's the accurate dosing for the optimal return on your investment? We do have a chapter in our text on stimulants, which increase energy, endurance, and reduce mental fatigue, and can increase fat usage in each person. Stimulants such as amphetamines, caffeine, synephrine, ephedrine, which is illegal to include in dietary supplement products, but can often be contained in many dietary supplement products. So it's up to the athlete to know and be aware of any banned substances that are in the supplements that they are taking. Very popular now are nootropic or smart pills, brain steroids, so to speak. Ritalin, which has been often used for children with attention deficit hyperactive disorder, Provigil, Adderall. These are all stimulants that can help increase brain function and ability to focus. High school and college students do use this to gain an edge for academic studies. Here we have a list of various energy drinks, not necessarily a sports drink. They do contain stimulants. They can increase heart rate and blood pressure. They do increase urination. They're diuretic. They can cause positive tests if there's excessive amounts of caffeine in your system. And when taken as a cocktail with alcohol, can contribute to further health problems, especially in our liver. And considered a dietary supplement and contain NCAA banned substances. So again, an athlete has to be aware of the supplements and the energy drinks that they're consuming as well in case they have any banned substances. It is the athlete's responsibility. Sports nutrition is the application of nutritional principles to enhance sports performance, to promote good health, good adaptations to training, to recover quickly after each training session, and to perform optimally during competition. An ergogenic is defined as the means to increase potential for work output. Performance enhancing techniques, performance enhancing substances can be taken. There are various classes of ergogenic aids, including mechanical, psychological, physiological, pharmacological, and nutritional types of ergogenic aids. There's hormonal agents, which include steroids, human growth hormone, steroid precursors like androstenedione and DHEA. Oral contraceptives even fall into this category. Clenbuterol, which is a beta-2 agonist often used in asthma, and GHB. Physiological agents include blood doping, EPO or erythropoietin, bicarbonate, phosphate, nasal strips can be used as a physiological agent, and sports psychology and imaging. Pharmacological drug agents can include stimulants like amphetamines, depressants like beta blockers, caffeine, diuretics, recreational drugs. Diuretics are often used to mask the use of other drugs that the athlete may be taking in order to beat the system as well. Nutritional agents, as we've been discussing, including supplements, amino acid supplements, which are very common in pre-workout energy drinks, carnitine, creatine, pyruvate, glycerol, herbal supplements, even alcohol and energy drinks can fall into this category of nutritional supplement ergogenic classes. Various ergogenic supplements are sold with the marketing that promises to do certain things to help enhance performance. In the case of chromium picolinate, it's a metabolite. It's marketed to be a metabolite fat burner. Yohimbe can be an aphrodisiac, a testosterone enhancer. Ginseng, a stimulant and fat burner. Caffeine, which is obviously a stimulant and can be sold in the form of guarana, cola nuts, green teas, mates. It's a stimulant, fat burner. Ma Wang, which is herbal ephedrine, is a stimulant and a weight loss supplement. Belvedere antler, purported to be an anti-inflammatory and testosterone booster. Gamma oryzanol suppresses luteinizing hormone, testosterone enhancer, and various other ergogenic substances all down the list here that you may actually do your ergogenic claims assignments on. If you go into your local health food store or vitamin shop, Max Muscle, you're going to see all sorts of different supplements that contain these various substances claiming to enhance performance or making some other type of marketing claim. So why are they so popular? Well, the use of drugs is illegal. Doping and the World Anti-Doping Agency, as well as USADA, have done very well to keep substances from being used, and they make their way onto the banned substances list. But many dietary supplements claim to be able to do many of the same things that the banned substances do without being banned. This is part of the popularity of them. They believe they have some type of magical property. They might be recommended by coaches or other fellow athletes. And there is a lot of shrewd advertising and marketing that goes on, including endorsements by paid star athletes and other celebrities. Are they effective? Well, research suggests a few are effective, but most are not. Supplements are found in each nutrient class and highlighted in each chapter of our text. Are they safe? Most over-the-counter dietary supplements are safe if taken as directed. The potential problems is the product may not contain substances as per the supplement facts label, and athletes may use the concept of, well, if taking 1 dose is good, then 10 doses is better, which is not a good approach or safe. So are the nutritional ergogenics legal? Well, legality or permissibility does depend on the sports governing agency. Some supplements are banned in sports, such as anabolics, such as androstenedione, which is a testosterone precursor, and certain stimulants, such as ephedrine, have been banned as well due to the potential danger to the heart that they can produce. There's been intentional or inadvertent contamination. Oftentimes you will see that many athletes claim as their excuse tainted food supply, especially if they're traveling in other countries, and the intentional inclusion of banned substance in their supplements that they're taking. So again, the marketing is tremendous for supplements, but the oversight and accountability of these supplements is very poor. Advertising claims are typically unfounded and rely heavily on paid endorsements and anecdotal testimonials from users. This all amounts to highly profitable and lucrative misinformation. They can be promoting a totally worthless product. Back in the day, they would call this snake oil. A lot of glitzy brochures and infomercials. And again, it is very big business. This is an old statistic, but it was estimated at $25 billion in annual sales. And I'm sure it's even much more today. So it is so prevalent among athletes because athletes want to do whatever they can to gain a competitive edge, whether it be training a certain way, getting coaches that can help them elevate their game to a higher level and perhaps put them in a position of making a lot of money. And possible factors promoting quackery in sports include eating behaviors of star athletes, advice again from their coaches, misinformation from sports magazines and books, particularly in the bodybuilding industry is very popular for that. And of course, direct advertising to the athlete itself. There are questions you need to ask yourself. Does it promise quick improvement in health or sports? Well, we all know that shortcuts are just that. They don't often produce long-term results. Does it contain some magical ingredient or formula? Is it marketed by certain personalities or sports stars? Does it exaggerate a single truth about an ingredient? Does it question the integrity of the scientific or medical establishment? And does the person or magazine who recommends it also sell it? And are its claims too good to be true? Again, before any consumer spends their hard-earned money on a supplement, you should do your research and ask these questions. We need to challenge the marketing claims with solid information through scientific research and data. Epidemiological research is observational research. The larger and more random the sample size in a research study, the better and more valid it tends to be. These studies will involve large populations to find relationships between two variables, for instance, diet and heart disease, and can help scientists identify important relationships between diet and health. It does not necessarily determine cause and effect relationships. Experimental research is essential to establishing a cause and effect relationship, and they use what they call random controlled trials, meaning you're not just using a sample of convenience or a group of people that happens to be there. You're going out and making sure you get random subjects to make sure there isn't any, that the study is pure and that it's being randomly controlled rather than just hand-picked. You want to find a good cause and effect for this experimental research as well. Oftentimes in university settings, these populations can be smaller groups, but in a larger or national, international studies, you'll find larger groups. The conditions, you do want to have randomization of the subjects and categorization of the subjects as well. You want to have a control group or a placebo condition and a double-blind procedure, which means that there's going to be subjects who do receive the actual supplement or drug and those that don't but believe that they are. The gold standard, of course, is random clinical trials with large populations. Some of the false claims can be a result of media exaggeration or just simply oversimplification. The quality of the study, the numbers of the subjects in the random clinical trial, oftentimes with many supplements, all you're going to find are just anecdotal testimonials and various endorsements, no actual strong peer-reviewed research or journal articles to support the claims of those that are the scientific team of the supplement that's being sold. Findings do need to be put in proper context, especially if the subjects that were utilized in the studies were of just a particular age group or a particular demographic. It needs to be more random and clinical trial like that to make sure that you have a solid study. Again, the best research is going to come from peer-reviewed journals, scientific journals, some of the more professional, educational, and websites that include things like .gov, .edu, .org. Use caution with .com sites, which are going to simply be private business sites or private organizations. Again, our text and our library are great resources for being able to get peer-reviewed scientific journals that have accurate information and information that has been challenged and had to have results to back up their claims. Some things to consider: our athletes need to be responsible, again, for whatever they consume, as well as their coaches and doctors for prescribing or advising them to take them. A lot of these, all supplements are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. And if you're under a doctor's care, is it treating or cheating? If you're under a doctor's care and you need to take a certain type of banned substance, then that it's a particular drug to help you for a medical condition, then you need to go ahead and get a therapeutic use exemption. Research can be misleading. It can be due to the dosages that are applied that may not be even what the manufacturer suggests that the user uses. And case studies and testimonials, again, suffer significant threats from internal and external validity. These substances probably should be legal, but they do need to be regulated and monitored because of the claims that they make essentially are in effect false advertising. So we see here in this slide, there's a typical conversation with an NCAA athlete regarding information about an energy drink that they're taking. And so they contacted the NCAA Resource Exchange Center, which is a information call line that the student athletes can use to ask questions about supplements and other over-the-counter ergogenics that they're taking. So the student athlete says, if I drink a Red Bull, will it cause me to test positive? And the advisor says, Red Bull contains large amounts of caffeine, which if too much of it's used, it can be a banned substance. Yeah, but will I test positive from just drinking one can, asked the students. Well, the NCAA cutoff for caffeine is greater than 15 micrograms per milliliter. So at this point, the athlete should maybe think about, well, do I really want to risk drinking too much of it and perhaps testing positive and being disqualified from the sport? But no, instead the athlete asks, well, so how much can I drink before I test positive? So that mindset of very common among the younger users of supplements, who's not concerned about finding alternatives or safer ways to supplement their training, but just wants to know at what point can they go to before they will be violating the rules set forth by their organizations. One of the highest selling and marketed supplements is creatine, which can come in powder form, tablets, gels, liquids, gum, even gum and snacks and candy it can come in. It's an amino acid found primarily in meat products, including fish, chicken, and meat. It's not found in plant-based products. And since vegetarians don't have a natural diet including creatine, they need to utilize supplements to have that in their system. Creatine is most effective when taken in combination with a structured resistance exercise program. Again, consumers use creatine to help recover from workouts, to help build strength, mass, and in some cases endurance. Again, in and of itself, it won't build strength and mass. It can be help with the rapid resynthesis of ATP, which can help a person work out more frequently and get better results. And most athletes do it again with the goal of increasing strength, body mass, and improving their recovery. Some potential side effects reported with creatine include gastrointestinal upset and cramping, and if taken too much of creatine, it can cause problems with our kidneys and potential renal dysfunction. FRS for energy drinks were highly marketed and had key endorsers. Years ago, they even had Lance Armstrong as an endorser. The draw of these energy drinks are the natural ingredients and the cultural drug of choice, caffeine. Again, we see here that it uses a lot of different types of juices, has vitamins in it, and ingredients that can be found naturally, which is appealing to many athletes and consumers. Ma Wang, which is herbal ephedrine, is a root plant known for its stimulant properties. It has strong similarities to amphetamines, which are again our stimulants, and it's first synthesized in Japan to get ephedrine from methamphetamine. It's sold in the United States as Benzedrine for nasal congestion. Can help with weight loss, but the problem is it can also cause a lot of issues with your cardiovascular system, including irregular heartbeat and increased blood pressure. In some cases, it has caused ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke and death. It's currently banned by the NCAA, IOC, WADA, and the United States Anti-Doping Agency. Chromium picolinate is an essential trace mineral, and many users use it to help with weight management. It's found commonly in food sources, including asparagus, mushrooms, prunes, and even beer. You can see here what the safe intake is and what various outcome studies have shown with chromium picolinate, which you can find at any supplement store. Herbs popular with athletes include supplements from the above plants. Clockwise from top left include Arctic root, echinacea, caltrop, ginseng, and elderberry. Himbine is a bark from a West African evergreen tree called the Indian snake root. It's thought to increase as a stimulant. It can improve blood flow and has been used as a sexual aphrodisiac for impotence. And when used in combination with caffeine and ephedrine, which again is a banned substance, it can be found to be an ergolytic. So again, the weight loss studies are questionable, and there can be potential side effects like increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and insomnia. Echinacea, often used for fighting colds and other health issues. It can be used to also help with just basic immunity for athletes that are dealing with sickness and illness. Some of the claims of echinacea include its ability to help with our white blood cells and our immune system, as well as aerobic performance and increased red blood cell production. DHEA is a steroid precursor. It's available over the counter. It's not a direct steroid, but it leads to the increased production of testosterone. It's producing the adrenal glands, gonads in the brain, and regular exercise is proven to increase DHEA production in the body. So you can help produce it naturally without having to take it as a supplement. A treatment for injuries includes platelet-enriched plasma therapy. This is used with the general population, but also used by athletes to help recover from an injury sooner. It's blood plasma enriched with platelets that has been taken from the athlete and then redelivered back to them. The platelets are put in the blood is put in a centrifuge, and the platelets are separated and then injected back into the athlete to help with healing time, particularly with issues such as tendonitis, but also other types of injuries. Performance enhancement. It claims to improve energy, concentration, even libido, weight loss, and heart disease, and overall health, and has been reported to reduce flu symptoms. The ginseng root is utilized, and Siberian ginseng has been shown to have no effect on submaximal or maximal aerobic endurance performance and distance runners, but it does still sell quite a bit for a lot of different reasons. And there can be side effects and problems with increased ginseng use and abuse, including hypertension, nervousness, sleeplessness, acne, edema, and diarrhea, and other types of GI upset with long-term use. Here we have a chart just indicating some of the changes observed in anaerobic athletes supplemented with ginseng use, and we see a good example here with football, which has a lot of anaerobic activity, quick bursts of activity with longer rest periods, and then again, each play in football really doesn't last more than 5 to 10 seconds tops, and that's why it's important to have these type of anaerobic capacity for each of these athletes. So to go over our ergogenic claims assignment, the purpose is to investigate a product that claims to have ergogenic benefits, meaning that it has some type of performance enhancing benefits for the user. It could be a lot of different things: to bulk up and get strong, to lose weight, to increase your memory, to improve your libido, any of these things. We want to try to stick to sports performance as much as possible, but as you'll see when you go to your local vitamin shop, Max Muscle, GNC, checking online, you'll see that there's such a large number of different products out there, and it's a good way to help yourself become an educated consumer. So again, discuss the products with those selling it, record the list of active ingredients that are indicated to be responsible for the ergogenic effect, and do a little research to determine if in fact these products are ergogenic. You want to turn a one-page summary of your experience, include the product, the name, the cost per dose, the claims, and where you found it. Write a brief summary of your findings in regard to the effectiveness of the active ingredients. And on a separate page, provide 2 multiple choice questions with 5 choices per question, and 2 true-false questions that will be constructed and related to the content of your ergogenic aid that you're reporting on. This is to help draw the audience into your paper and help you to draw out key points that you would want the audience to know about your report. Make sure that you proofread your paper, type double-spaced, 12 font, and turned in under assignments. It is worth 100 points. So let's review some of the information here that we went over in this lecture. Sports supplements are regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. Is that true or false? No, that is false. Ma Wang is herbal ephedrine. That is true. It is known as herbal ephedrine. A technique that uses autologous blood and re-injecting it into the same patient to help healing is called platelet-enriched plasma therapy. Sometimes you'll hear it called PRP. An herbal supplement that's a stimulant from African tree bark who has purported benefits that range from helping restore impotence to improving blood flow is known as yohimbine. Very good. All the following are true about DHEA except it's available by prescription only. No. It's banned by WADA. That's true. It is a steroid precursor, and it's produced naturally in the adrenal glands, gonads, and brain. So those are all true about DHEA. Epidemiological research is characterized by cause and effect relationships and variables that are conducted with random clinical trials. That would be false. That would be experimental research. It is the athlete's responsibility to know if they are taking a supplement that contains a banned substance. That is true. They should use the Supplement 411 website available through the United States Anti-Doping Agency to run any questions about a supplement that they're taking and to report if they're report their findings if they have any issues with a banned substance that might be in this product. Smart pills or drugs that are reported to improve mental acuity include all of the following except mescaline. No, that's a hallucinogen. So Adderall, Provigil, Ritalin, those are all smart pills or drugs that are used to increase focus and brain power. Gene doping is difficult to detect method of altering an athlete's DNA to improve performance, such as increasing amino acid production or mitochondrial activity to build strength and endurance. And that is true. Experimental research is based upon anecdotal evidence that can be obtained through interviews and testimonials. No, that is false. Experimental research is based on data gathered through random clinical trials, double-blind studies, and is often published in peer-reviewed journals and texts that have oversight.